1 in 3 Indian men who are above 35 years are either pre-diabetic or diabetic or on the verge of getting it. And the worst thing, they don't even know about it. 75% of the Indian men who work in corporates have belly fat. Keeping the cosmetic reasons aside, it is a silent killer. That is exactly the reason why I developed this program, which is MTM Formula, to help Indian men get rid of belly fat and lose 20 to 30 pounds without giving up on their favorite foods or festivities or weekend gatherings. I've trained over 700 men so far, helping them achieve their fitness goals and sustain them for long term. Now, without any delay, let's jump into the presentation. So if you're somebody who's struggling with belly fat and you want to get pain-free and you want to feel confident again, and also if you're somebody who is trying to reduce your medications and get your energy back, that's exactly what we're going to cover in this presentation. Now, before I go and start this presentation, I want you to understand that who is this for and who is it not for. So this is not for the people who are looking at trendy diets or crash diets for the next 7 days or juice diets or any sort of intermittent fasting. Now, this is not for people who are gym junkies who want to work out for 2 to 3 hours or do endless cardios in the gym. Now, we are not looking for people who are looking at shortcuts in the next 3 months, getting a ripped physique. That is not who we're going to help inside this program. And let me tell you, if you're somebody who is following random YouTube videos without any structure, this program is not for you. And this is not for the people who do not like accountability. I am a guy I was a financial analyst earlier, and I am big on tracking things and I'm big on accountability. So if you're somebody who doesn't like that, this program might not be the right fit for you. Now, who is this for? This is basically for Indian men who are struggling with belly fat and want to get rid of 20 to 40 pounds without doing any extreme protocols. Who wants to reverse their lifestyle and want to stay fit and sustain that in the long run. And I like people who work with structure, accountability, and clarity, and that's exactly who this program is for. Now, I'm also looking for dads who want to be feeling proud about their physique again, and they want their kids to appreciate their physique and also want to have that energy to spend time with family. If any of this is you, then this program is designed for you. Now, I know a lot of people what they're looking for, right? So what you're looking for is a system that can fit into your busy schedule, a nutrition that helps you gain your energy back, but that also fits your lifestyle, and you don't want your partner cooking a separate meal for you than your family. And that's not something even I don't like. So this is exactly for you if you want to have a system in place in terms of your workouts, in terms of your accountability, and in terms of your nutrition that you want to sustain in the long run and not feel like you're dieting or sacrificing your nutrition or your lifestyle for that matter. Now, just to fully understand how I developed the system and how did I come to this system, how did I created the system, let me run you down the memory lane or take you through this journey that I've been through in the last few years. So I worked in corporates for 15 years. I was into financial data and analytics, and that is one of the reasons I prioritize accountability and data tracking inside the program as well. As a nutritionist and a fitness coach, I've been training people over the last 15 years. And just to give you a little background about how I got into this, I was working in the corporate and I was like doing 12 to 13 hour shifts sitting at the same place, because when you get to look financial records, you cannot take a break because you have to have 100% focus, and once you take a break, you don't know where you left it and you have to start all from the beginning. So that is exactly the reason I developed the lower back pain, and that led to disc herniation. Now, it was so severe that I was not able to get up from my bed. There was a time where I was working from home for 3 to 6 months, never knowing when will I recover from it. When I went to doctor, all I got was, pain reducing medications or painkillers. I've been in the neurological painkillers for like 3 months without knowing what to do next. And that is exactly when I thought there should be some action that should be taken from my end to actually resolve this issue, right? And we will talk more about that as we move forward. But to give you another side of me, I'm a happily married man for like 12 years now. I have a 9-year-old daughter. The most important reason that I want you guys to understand why I developed this program is for the people who are struggling to get fit through their busy lifestyle. Like I was talking about my lower back pain, then I started discovering about the ways of how to get rid of this and how to get back up on my 2 feet and get stronger and able to do my daily task without being dependent on anyone. And that's exactly when I created the system, that addresses my mobility and conditioning. Not only did I develop a system to get rid of the lower back pain, but I also built this to help busy professionals like ourselves get rid of metabolic conditions like diabetes or cholesterol levels or high BP or even thyroid levels. Now, I developed a mission. I made it my mission year on year to help as many men as possible to get rid of these conditions, because I see that at least 60 to 65% of Indian men go through the low back pain, and 40 to 45% Indian men go through metabolic conditions like type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol levels, fatty liver, insulin resistance, and a lot of metabolic conditions like this. Now, my goal is not only to help people come out of these issues, but also sustain that in the long run and maintain longevity, both in terms of aesthetics and also health parameters, for them to have the quality of the life that they deserve. And that's exactly the reason why I developed the system, which is not or nothing like the typical exercise programs or nutrition programs that you come across, where you need to do endless amount of cardios or sacrifice everything in terms of your foods or your favorite food items to get rid of belly fat. No complicated gym routines, no complicated workout routines, no complicated amount of nutrition plans. Everything is done with an intent to sustain in the long run and help you have a quality lifestyle. And that is exactly why I developed MTM Formula, which is built on 3 pillars, which we'll be discussing as we go forward. Now, this particular 3 pillars are designed based upon the metabolic type. Your nutrition is based upon your metabolic type. Your exercises are based upon your body type, and you'll have highest level of accountability. Like I said, if you're somebody who loves to show up and do the work and be accountable, this program is going to work wonders for you. So without any delay, let's jump into what is this program and how did I build all the 3 pillars. So this program is built on 3 pillars. The first one is Metabolic Nutrition Blueprint. This is exactly where I talk about what is metabolic type, what are the different types of metabolic types that we have, and how do we categorize people, how do we identify it, and how do we start building your nutrition plan, keeping aside the regular nutrition calculators that we have. And the second pillar inside the program is the training pillar. This is where we consider different parameters. Like I said, we don't just put together a training plan or put together some amount of workouts for you to do your workouts, right? Or to do exercises. We build the system based upon certain parameters. They are they are based upon your body type. What is your availability in the week? How many times can you work out, right? And how much time can you spend on each workout? We have people inside this program who do 30 minutes of workout 3 times a week. Now, apart from that, we'll also consider your metabolic conditioning or your mobility as well. Now, what is conditioning is basically, that's where we talk about how is your low back pain? Is there any cervical or neck pain that you're going through? Is there any shoulder pain? And what is the movement that you can do? And what are the movements that we want to improve? Are you able to take your hand through complete range of motion? Or are you able to bend down and touch your toes to understand if your mobility is in place? And finally, based upon these things, we will develop a training phase. There are different training phases. They can be neurological phase, hypertrophy phase, MBK phase. You'll understand more about it once you get into the program and see how we deal with it. And finally, like I was telling you about, is accountability acceleration. We'll have weekly video check-ins, we'll have group coaching calls, we'll have a lot of accountability inside the Discord on a daily basis to make sure you're sticking to our daily action items. Now, let's jump into each one of these pillars to understand how did we build this program and why did we build it in a certain way. The first one is Metabolic Nutrition Blueprint. Now, this is where we're going to talk about different metabolic types. There are different metabolic types like a protein type, a carb type, and a mixed type. Now, protein type is a nutrition program based upon your metabolic type, which is protein type. Now, these are the people who have fast metabolism. They don't respond well on high carbs. So that's the reason people with protein metabolic type have low amount of carbs, but equal amount of proteins and fats to make sure they achieve their goals. And this is something a lot of programs don't understand. In the same way, we have carbo type and we have mixed type. Carbo type people, just like protein type, doesn't work really well on high protein diets. So we base their diets on carbs and fats rather than proteins. In the same way, mixed type are the people who can have equal amount of carbs and proteins with lower amount of fats. So based upon these 3 metabolic types, we're going to build a customized nutrition plan for you. Now, guess what? We are not going to stop it there. We're going to align that with your lifestyle. We're going to understand what are you eating on a daily basis. So for example, if you're an Indian man who are eating oats in the morning or dosa in the morning, we'll continue to have it, but with small tweaks to it so that we can sustain it forever. So that is the reason all our clients don't eat like a different meal when they're inside the program versus once the program is done. And that is one of the reasons we never use the term diet inside the program. And that's the reason we call it a nutrition plan. Now, the second thing is Physique Recode framework. This is exactly what you're going to need to do inside this program in terms of your workouts to achieve your physique goals or recode your current physique. Now, your workouts are based upon your body type and the schedule. There are different body types, mesomorph, ectomorph, and endomorph, based upon how, to give you a simple example, most of the Indians are skinny, have got skinny arms and legs, and have huge amount of belly. That is what we call skinny fat. That is just one type of the body type that we discuss inside the program. If you're that type of a body type, what we do is we build your workouts according to that, so that we can get rid of the belly and start building little muscle around your arms, chest and legs, so that you become stronger and active. And in the same way, we will also consider mobility issues or conditioning issues like your lower back pain. How are you getting this pain? When are you getting this pain? What is the reason for this pain? Did you have a diagnosis before? If you did, what kind of mobility drills did you do in the past? And what do we do now to strengthen your lower back? Right? And finally, we put all this together to create an intellectual program wherein we will be understanding which phase you should be going through, like I was talking about, in terms of whether it is an AMPK phase, a neurological phase, a hypertrophy phase, or a metabolic phase. Now, we will discuss more about these phases as you get inside the program, but for you to understand, each phase has a different approach based upon your current physique conditions and your current physique goals. And the third and the most important pillar, this is going to be a game changer for a lot of men out there, is accountability acceleration. Now, this is not a program wherein I'm going to assign you a training and a nutrition plan and ask you to do it on your own. No, we're not going to do that. Now, what we're going to do inside this program is we're going to constantly coach you in why we are doing it, how we are doing it, and what are we doing it, and based on what conditions. Right? So, for example, we'll have a weekly video check-in explaining you the analysis that I constantly talk about in terms of how did the weight change this week? How did the macros change? We will have an entire graph for us to understand this is where I talk about analytics, right? So I come from a data analytics background and we look at the data, and that's the reason I tell a lot of times that data over drama. That means your emotions should be kept aside when you're looking at the data and take decisions based upon data. Right? Apart from that, we'll have group coaching calls, 2 to 3 group coaching calls in a week, wherein we'll be discussing about the concepts of nutrition. You guys going to share your exercise videos. Me and my coaches are going to review it in front of you, explaining you what are the changes required, so that we'll also cover the form and technique aspect of it, so that you can understand, go back and implement. Not just like a personal trainer standing beside you, just correcting your form, but we're going to tell you what you have to correct in terms of your form, and why should you correct it, right? So that we can aim at the muscle that we want to develop. And finally, the accountability task on a daily basis. There are several action items I'm going to give you on a daily basis, wherein you have to join the group and accept and acknowledge the conditions or the action items that are given for you on that particular day. Now, having said that, here are some beautiful client transformations. Everyone has a story beside it. The first photo of Praneeth, who has struggled for a lifetime to get to a six-pack, we did that within 3 months inside the program. He has been through a lot of gym programs. He followed YouTube videos. He did all the extreme diets in his life, but nothing succeeded. All we did is align his metabolic type versus lifestyle, wherein he was enjoying his meals over the weekend and also drink sometimes, but still achieved that physique in 3 months. Now, in between is Anish, who went through an ACL tear in his life where he was almost giving up on his physique goals. But later on, when he joined the program within 6 months, not only did we get rid of belly fat and the weight that he developed during the incident, but also helped him gain all the strength back to do the heavy lifting that he used to do earlier. And in the right side corner that you see is Manohar, who is 54 years old. He came to this program eating just 800 calories because of nutritionists who gave him extreme diets in the past with very lousy workouts. All we did, we increased his calories to 2,300 and 400 today. He's enjoying all the meals over the weekend. He's enjoying his vacations, has a physique that has got six-pack at that particular age. In the same way, we have a story for every person. I couldn't fit in all the transformations here, but these are few of the most of several hundred transformations that we had inside the program. Right, all of them has an average weight loss of 20 to 30 pounds in first 90 days, and then went upon achieving their physique recode that we discussed, the physique recode pillar that we discussed a while ago. So if this is you who's been struggling with these goals, who've been trying different things in the past, you'll be surprised to know how easy it is if you follow your metabolic typing diet, and also the physique recode framework in terms of your workouts. You can enjoy the foods that you want, at the same time achieve the goals that you want in terms of your weight loss and your physique as well. Now, because the truth is that men want to lose weight and reduce joint pain, all dealing with the same three main issues, right? All these things come under the same umbrella. One is people following complex routines. They have too many restrictions in terms of diet, and there's no system in place, which is the biggest thing of all, right? So I see this as a common issue with a lot of men. People who come to me with lower back pain have tried physiotherapy in the past, have tried extreme diets in the past, but nothing as a system that they put together that fits their lifestyle at the same time and also help them to get rid of this pain in the past, right? That's exactly what we're going to do in the MTM formula, right? Now, all these three pillars, like I said, are going to solve the issue that you're going through. Now, I know probably you must be asking yourself, will this even fit into my busy schedule? I've done workouts before, even strength training. Why didn't they work, and how will this be any different than that? Will I need to give up on the foods that I love just to lose weight or get leaner? And a lot of questions like this. But to answer a few of them, will this fit into my busy schedule? Few transformations that I shared you in a couple of slides back, few of them are not only IT professionals, but they also have a side business with them, a side hustle that they're doing along with their IT corporate job. Now, people like that who travel constantly in work travels or vacations or work events, they are able to achieve this without giving up their cultural foods. Neither are they compromising on the food when they go out with their team to have lunch or dinner. And I see no reason why would you be doing that. I know you've done a lot of workouts before. Like I said, you might have followed different workouts from different YouTube videos. However, whatever we're doing in this program is very structured. Like I said, it is based upon different aspects. It is not putting together a bunch of workouts just to get rid of belly fat. We're going to structure it based upon four different pillars within the physique recode pillar that we discussed about, right? You never have to give up the foods you love. Like I do, I have poha, paratha, or dosa for my breakfast. I have rice and curries for my lunch and dinner. I don't give up on my cultural diet, and I have a 9-year-old daughter. We have a lot of fun over the weekend when it comes to food, but I still maintain that physique. Not only me, all the people, all the clients who work with me are dads, are still able to manage their physique while enjoying the foods that they love on the weekends as well. Now, I don't have time to cook. Will this still work? That's a brilliant question. I don't have time to cook as well. So whatever my wife does, is she does the cooking for the entire family. She does the same. She cooks the same food for all of us. And not only me, all my clients and their families are cooking the same food for themselves with small tweaks, which will help them achieve their goals and also sustain them in the future without any additional effort in terms of cooking at home. Now, what if this is a biggest problem, right? What if I struggle to stay consistent? That's exactly where we have the accountability pillar. We will make sure that on a daily basis, you report back to us. We will make sure to understand. When you track all these things, it becomes pretty easy for us to understand where exactly is the problem. And we're going to address that as we go forward inside the program. And we're going to make sure we focus on consistency. That is one of the important aspects of this program as well. Now, how soon will I start seeing changes? This is a brilliant question. This is a question even I had when I started transforming myself in the past, right? So to give you a number, our clients on an average lose about 8 to 10 pounds in a month. Now, that is an average weight loss inside the program, right? So this is something you can do it yourself, and that gives you an idea of how efficient this program is while giving you the flexibility that you want. Now, how does this work? This is where it becomes interesting, and I love this part because This is a system that I built and is close to my heart. This helped hundreds of men transform their lives, their families, their situations, and their health markers. So this is a 12 weeks program. There is a personalized, customized plan, like I said, based upon different pillars and metabolic types that we discussed. Now, weekly, there will be a video feedback explaining you what you need. Like I said, we're going to break down your goal into milestones on a weekly basis. If you're somebody who did project management in the past, you'll understand what are milestones. These are small goals that we have. When we do a big goal, we break them down into small goals and we call those small goals as milestones. Now, these milestones are built on a weekly basis. And every week when we develop an action item or a plan, we're going to discuss about how to achieve that particular milestone or the goal for the week. And if you're not achieving it, we're going to understand what else we can do to achieve it, and we're going to reorganize your milestones on a weekly basis. So that is a lot of analysis and analytics. We don't approach things subjectively inside the program. It is very objectively driven. Now, there will be direct access to me on a daily basis, 24/7. Drop me a message in Discord. I'm going to respond to you. And apart from that, you'll also have daily accountability inside the group. There is also client success manager and assistant coaches who are going to answer your question, not only me. And now again, like I said, this entire program is built with an intent to have cultural foods or lifestyle foods in place. If you're not enjoying those Diwali sweets, there is no point of doing anything like this, right? So we will enjoy those events, we will enjoy those weekends, we'll enjoy those get-togethers. At the same time, we will plan it in a way that fits our lifestyle, right? I say this a lot of times. If I don't see your weight graph go up over the weekend, I feel like you don't have a life. So enjoy those weekends, but we'll talk about how to make sure that fits into our program and our lifestyle so that we can sustain it. Now, there are a lot of bonus workshops and the events that we do in this process of 12 weeks. Like, seminars, like I said, this is a coaching program. This is a learning process that is just not giving you something and handing it over and asking you to do it yourself. Now, what do I do to get access to it? Now, there is a lot we can do, right? So you'll get access to, chat with me directly inside the program. You'll have access to private Facebook groups where we have these recordings of the weekly calls. You will have an additional layer of accountability to make sure you're consistent with the client success manager. There will be apps which are very easily accessible, and let me remind you, these apps are controlled by us. That means the programs, the nutrition, the changes, everything we make in the app for you to have access to, right? And there'll be a lot of course material and resources. To give you a few, we have recipe guides, we have eat out guides, what to eat when you go out, and a lot more like that. Now, there is just one question you have to ask yourself. What is not knowing this information costing me every single month? What is it? The cost of inaction now for you, right? You have to go back and think about, what is this going to cost if I don't take action right now for me? Is it costing you pain? Is it lowering your confidence? Is it actually shortening your lifespan? That's an honest reality here. Now, what is it worth to you, right? So to be fit for your grandchildren, right? That blessing is what I generally say. If you have energy and strength to play with your grandchildren, that is a quality of the life that you want to be active and confident in your daily life, to be admired by friends and family, to have those health parameters back in place, to get rid of those medications that you're taking on a daily basis and still going through this pain, having those peaceful sleep nights wherein you are not stressed about in terms of what will happen to your health next day. And if you want to join me, this is where here is your opportunity to change your life. If you want to join me, simply DM me the word join in my Instagram, and do not forget to follow me. So once you message me the word join, we're going to discuss further about how this is going to fit for you and if we are the right fit for each other. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.